Hello, this is a quick tutorial to show you how to do something that's often requested by students because it's a nice little technique. And this is, I would call it like a smooth auto scroll, meaning when you have a very long page and you click on the navigation, it slowly or quickly scrolls you down the page or scrolls the page up to the section that you requested. So first thing we need to learn is how to create links that are inside the same page. So for example, you've seen this before many times. I see on Wikipedia for Xochimilco, I see these links over here, and I click on one, and all of a sudden I'm brought to the history section, and I'm not taken to another page, I'm taken to another location inside of the same page, and I can tell because if I scroll back up, there I am. So the mechanics of it are the same. You will be using an A tag with an href, but the difference is you're not going to be putting in a path to a whole nother file, but you're going to be putting in a different type of code that links to another spot on the page. So for example, this is the effect we're going for. This is a site from another student, one of the informational sites that we do. And here's the navigation. I'm going to click on number 5, and it scrolls down there. And it's a better experience because the animation that's going on there is communicating to me that I'm going to another place within the same place. Because when that just doesn't happen in the real world, that things just automatically appear, unless you've watched the old TV show Bewitched, which is kind of freaky. But when we go somewhere, we travel. And so this is giving that, playing upon that sort of psychological tendency we have to understand distance and all that good stuff. All right, but before we do that, we have to figure out at least to do this. How do we do this first? How do we link to something inside of a page? So let's go to Adam here. I've started a, let me block out. This is our basic shell, just basic head, da 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 da. First thing I need to do is I need to add some content so that we can actually scroll somewhere. So I added a navigation here, a basic navigation, and I also put in a section down here because I need it to be long. So I'm going to put some really big sections in there, so it's a long page. I added my styles here. I put them right into the head tag, which you can do if you wrap them in a style tag. You can write, if you recall, this is the embedded way of doing CSS. So if I put them between a style tag, I can write CSS. It's preferred to make a separate file, but this is just a really simple demo. So it's simpler to do it this way for now. So let's see what that looks like. Basically, if you take a look, basic nav, and then the section, I gave it the height of 600, the width, I probably didn't need to do that, and a background so you can see it. We'll save that. We'll go over here, and there we is. We can see there's the nav, and there's our section. So, okay, so let's add a few more sections. And I'm actually going to identify them, just put the number 1 inside of it. And I need to make 4, right? Because we have 4 sections there. So 4, what's it, 2, 3, 4. Okay, I've got 4 sections. Okay, put that down. So if we want this to actually be a nav, we're going to need these to be links. Hey, why you know? Did I not save? Hello. Didn't save. Okay. Okay, now I got it scrollable. Oh, they're all stuck together. We can't see them. Boo. Okay, add some margin. That's better. Now it's scrolling to the side because they're, maybe if I take off the 100%. That's much better. And they've got a 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4. Great. Back here. So I need to turn these into links. So I'm going to put them inside of an A tag. Okay. Ooh, what was that handy shortcut that wraps content automatically? I believe it was Option W? Nope. Control 5? No, Control W. No. Okay. We're going to copy and paste this. And then don't need that. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So we've got links. Let's check that. Make sure. Okay, we got a bad character. Where's that? Extra carroty thing. Okay, yeah. So we know they're links. They just don't link anywhere yet. Great. Now we need to give them somewhere to link to. So we need them to link down inside the page. So it would make sense that we would want this, the option number 4, to link down to section number 4. So in order to do this, we need to give each one of these an ID. Remember, an ID is kind of like a class. I'm going to give them all IDs so that we can target them. So I'm going to say ID section 1. Remember, I can't start it with a number, so I'm going to call it section 1. Equals. And then we'll do the same thing. Okay, so they all have IDs. So really, it kind of makes sense from here. You might be able to figure it out. Instead of linking to another page, we're linking to this thing right here. And now this thing down here, this 4, has a unique ID name to it. So what if we put that ID in here where we're supposed to put a URL? And if you remember, if classes start, just like classes start with a period, IDs start with a hashtag if we're trying to select them, at least in our code. So I'm going to say hashtag section. So this is section 4. So this is the link here, and I'm saying link to section 4. So it's going to, when I click on it, it's not going to look for a page outside in a folder, but it's going to see the hashtag and say, oh, I'm looking for an ID. And then it's going to say, oh, here's section 4. Save, reload, and now let's try to, I'll try section 4. Boom, section 4 comes up to the top. Fantastic. So we've got that first functionality going on, just like the Wikipedia page. And that's the first step. Now you know how to do that, at least. So let's add that to the other ones. Oh, moment. Okay, let's try it. Reload. Okay, section 2. Oh, yeah, it's working. We just haven't added the scroll. Cool. Okay, moving on. Now we want to add the fancy, the bells and whistles to here, to this piece. And that's going to involve a script because it needs to tell it, animate, and you can move this far, and then move this far, and then move this far. And for that script, which is in JavaScript, which is the scripting language of the internet, I have a copy over here. And actually, technically, we're using jQuery, which it is JavaScript. It's just a different sort of dialect of JavaScript, you could say. But we need to, it's not automatically built into the browser. So I'm going to kind of show you how you put a script into an HTML page. You know, this is how it kind of works with anything if you ever find a little piece of code that you want to copy and paste in. Because this is jQuery, it's not built into the browser automatically. It's a special dialect. We need a little, we need to link to some code that kind of translates it. It's called the library. So the first thing you want to do is include this here. We're linking to the jQuery library. So I'm going to grab this. If I were doing just plain old JavaScript here, I wouldn't need to do that. Wait, where'd it go? I'm going to go in here, and I'm going to go up into, somewhere in the head, I'm going to do it right here underneath the style tag. Okay, we got that done, and that basically now allows us to write the script. It isn't the script itself, it's just, okay, now it has a dictionary to translate whatever I'm about to write or copy and paste in. So here is the script itself. So remember, just like we have to wrap any CSS inside a style tag, we need to wrap anything that's a script inside of a script tag, basically, because it's not HTML, it's a different language. We need to give the browser some warning, hey, this is not HTML. So I'm going to just copy and paste that entire thing. And then I'm going to put it right here underneath that one. And in this case, we've just actually written it into the file instead of linking to a separate file. So anyways, it's just a copy and paste kind of thing. Now, this is a big question that comes up a lot when people get, find a snippet of JavaScript they want to use, and where do I put it? Where do I put it? Because you might see it. Sometimes it's up in the top. Sometimes it's in the body. Sometimes it's way down here at the bottom. The truth is, it kind of doesn't matter. I mean, it does in a little way, but not something we need to be concerned about. So you can put it anywhere. You can put it in the bottom, you can put it in the top, you can put it inside the body. There's different reasons for doing each one. If something's not working for you, maybe put it in the bottom, or put it, if it's in the top, put it in the bottom, see if it works. So it's arbitrary in a way, is what I'm trying to say. So here's the script we want, and basically what all this fancy stuff says is scroll down. Scroll down. So let's see if this works. Huh? That's all I had to do, hopefully. Famous last words. Go back over here, reload. Now it's got the same functionality, but it's doing it smoothly. Yeah, ta-da! Now something you might want to notice, look at the speed when I click on the 4 and it goes all the way to the bottom. And then look at the speed when I say 1. Kind of slow. Or 2. That's because what the script is doing, it's saying travel all that distance and do it all within 1 second. So if it's further, it has to go faster to get to that spot. And if you want to play with that, this is the secret number right here. 1,000. 1,000, that's measured in milliseconds. So there are 1,000 milliseconds in 1 second. So you can change this to whatever you want. You could, we could make it, if we say 500, that's half a second. Now let's look. No. Oh, did I say 5,000? Oh my God, 5 seconds. Okay, the most annoying auto scroll ever. Yeah, so, maybe there's a reason you'd want to do that. And let's do it again. Okay, yeah. Either one, whatever you prefer. So that's basically it, but I want to take it one step further because one thing I'm noticing is that I get to section 3, but my nav's gone. I have to scroll all the way back up to make another selection. So we can do that by fixing the navigation to the top or the bottom or the side or smack in the middle if you want to do that. And we're going to use the positioning property in CSS. So what I want to do is I want to take this nav and make it stick to a certain part in the window and never move, no matter what happens. I can do that up here. So I'm going to select the navigation and nav, and I'm going to give it a position of fixed, and I also need to tell it where on the page I want it to fix. So once you give something a position property in CSS, all of a sudden you have superpowers and you could tell something exactly where to go because it's actually not in the document flow anymore if it's fixed. So I'm going to say I want you to stick to the top and be 0 pixels from the top at all times, so it's stuck right up there. I want you to be on the left side 0 pixels from the left at all times. So it's stuck up in the corner. And I'm going to save. I'm going to reload. And something happened. Remember I said now that it's got this superpower, it's not actually in the document flow anymore. So the rest of the page pretends like it doesn't exist and just moves up and goes on with business as usual. And we can do things to fix that, like give the top a big margin to push it down. But now you can see it stays right there the entire time. Okay. Ta-da! There you go. I have an example posted on our website called Smooth Scroll. Here's the URL here. I'll link to it. And very, 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 very bare bones, hardly any styling. So obviously you would want to, maybe you want the nav to go across the top, or you would provide your own styling there, but it's bare bones. But let's also take a look at one more thing that's different between, oh no, it's not here actually. But I do want to mention something. Sometimes, I just want to point out that when you do scroll to the top, it's going to scroll exactly wherever the anchor tag is. So in this case, I'll go back. Notice if I click on 3, 3 goes right up to the edge, and that's may not always be what you want. Maybe you want to scroll up so that an element is nicely centered in the middle. So if you put the hashtag, the ID anchor on that actual element, it would be stuck to the top. So one way to do that is, instead of putting it there, stick it on something that's a little bit above. If you have a headline or the beginning of a section, you can do that. It doesn't actually have to be on the exact thing you're visually focusing on. All right, that's about it. If you want to, again, this is here. It's just one page. You can just view page source and copy all of this into your HTML file. That is all for now. Thanks.